Hey guys, doing something a little different than I normally do on this channel. We're covering CES 2021. We always wanted to cover gaming and tech news on this channel, but this is the first one we're doing. So I have an odd setup, so you might see a little blurring back here. I'm using ChromaCam to block out my background, which is quite ugly and messy, so you guys don't have to look at that. In the future, that'll get better. But let me just start off by saying thank you guys so much for supporting this channel and subscribing and watching these videos. It keeps me motivated, keeps the content coming. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing if you like this channel, you like this stuff. Like I said, that is exactly what keeps me motivated. If you guys sub and you show that you like this content, I will keep delivering these videos. And you guys have been great thus far, so thank you very much for that. Always appreciate your support. Let's get started, though. Starting off right off the bat, we're going to go with NVIDIA. NVIDIA announced their 3060 card, which is a budget card coming late February. If you've been waiting for a budget GPU, this is probably it. Wait for that and pick up that thing. The 3060 Ti is out, but I'm gonna show you something real quick before you jump on the 3060 Ti. I'm gonna scroll down here just a little bit and DLSS, ray tracing, blah 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 blah. Nothing new, right? But we're gonna look at the specs. The 3060 Ti, 4864 CUDA cores versus the 3060 3584. So better performing card, right? 1.67 boost clock versus 1.78 gigahertz boost clock on the 3060. I know it looks like, oh, that's higher. It's probably better. With the higher CUDA cores, this will actually deliver a lot higher results than the 3060. But the tech community is pretty upset by this. The lower end card has, which is the 3060 on the right, has higher video memory, 12 gigs, than the 8 gigabyte 3060 Ti, which is supposed to be a higher end card. So it's definitely upsetting to people that already bought the 3060 Ti, seeing the 3060, which is a cheaper card, have more video memory. If you play in 4K or even 1440, you might want to seek a video card that has a little bit more video memory than some of the lower ends. Me personally, I do some 4K gaming, I do recording, I use NVENC recording sometimes. I can't deal with a card below 10 gigs of video memory. It's just not enough for me, so I can understand how people can be upset by this. But let's move on. Intel announced their 11th gen processors. I originally built an AMD rig, but I'm in no way against Intel. I don't fanboy for any brand. I really like seeing the results, seeing the benchmark and the reviews before I decide to purchase anything. And that's not just processors. That could be literally anything. It could be a car. It could be keyboards, whatever it may be. I like to watch reviews and do my research before just, I'm going to stick with Intel because Intel's my thing, or I'm going to stick with AMD. I don't play like that. I like being real, and not just fanboying for a brand. But Intel, 11th gen, it could be a good series because right now they're supporting PCI 4.0. Finally, Intel enters into the market for PCI 4.0, which was a key factor behind me not choosing them for my recent build. Speeds up to 5.0 gigahertz. Like I said, PCI Gen 4. Cool. Thunderbolt 4 they support. That's cool. Wi-Fi 6, that's great. And of course, Intel is claiming that they are delivering higher frames than AMD, at least in Metro Exodus right here. And of course, in every other game you can think of. Please, 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 please take this with a grain of salt. This is Intel saying Intel performs better than AMD. Don't take it with a grain of salt. Take it with the entire salt shaker. This is Intel saying that. So Intel's not going to say, hey, here's our new CPUs. They're performing worse than AMD CPUs that released a few months back. They're not going to say that. Of course, they're going to say it's performing better. So wait. Wait for third-party benchmark results. Wait for, I don't know, other people to grab their unbiased reviews, right? Let them grab the CPUs and release some unbiased reviews. I wouldn't trust this slide at all. Moving on. Laptop gang. I'm going to cover 3 laptops here, but I'm going to be pretty quick on them because I don't want to spend too much time on laptops. Starting with MSI, the GE76 Raider Dragon Edition Tiamat. This has got to be one of the most beautiful laptops I've ever seen. And I don't mean performance-wise, which, it's great performance, but I'm talking visually. That is gorgeous. That is beautiful. This is all etched on there. It's just, can we just take a minute to just appreciate that? They put some love into that laptop case, chassis, whatever you want to call it. Beautiful. and it runs over onto the keyboard area on the mouse pad. I'm hoping the mouse pad doesn't have the etching so you don't feel it while you're using it. I imagine it doesn't, because that would be, in my opinion, like an oversight. In fact, it looks like it doesn't. It looks like that's an unetched. It's just a design. Really, really beautiful looking laptop. I like it. Moving on, 30 series, like I said, 30 series GPU. NVIDIA actually recently announced that, hey, mobile 30 series cards. We were all waiting for that, for anyone waiting for a laptop. There you go. They're starting to enter laptops. That's great. Resizable bar. This is something that it almost needs its own video. So I'm going to cover this real quick. Resizable bar is an advanced PCI Express feature that enables CPU to access the entire GPU frame buffer at once, improving performance in many games. This is not a gimmick. This is real. This will actually result in better performance, and it is real. And if you're interested in any sort of technology, stuff like that, gaming performance, look into resizable bar, because it's too much to cover just for this video. It almost requires its own video. So I'm going to move on, but that is a real, legitimate, good feature. Ray tracing, we all know about that. DLSS, cool. Dynamic Boost 2.0. This is real as well. It's an actual feature that it's about power management. AI-powered Dynamic Boost 2.0 automatically delivers the needed power between a GPU, GPU memory, and CPU for a larger performance boost than ever before. So it's AI controlling where the power is needed most, where it's going to direct the power, and what needs more power, what component to deliver the highest performance. It's real. It's a legitimate feature, and that's cool to see. Moving on. I'm going to go back one screen. The Razer Blade Pro 17. There it is, starting at $2,300. It's beautiful. I think it looks good. Not quite as nice looking as the MSI one, but this is like a plain black sleek finish. And I understand how like the last laptop might be a little too over the top for some people, and you want like a plain black. I'm all for that. I think this looks beautiful. I think the plain sleek black is nice. 30 series card, of course. QHD models, blah, 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 blah. Moving on. 25% fall. 17.3-inch display. Compact as a 15-inch laptop. All right, so they're saying it's in a small form factor, and you don't have to have as bulky of a laptop. All right, cool. i7 processor pushes the limits even further. Base clock speed, blah, blah, blah. 360 hertz refresh rate display. FHD, QHD, UHD, 6mm thin bezel. That's great. That's awesome. 360 hertz refresh. Whew. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Thunderbolt 3. HDMI 2.0. 2.5 gigabyte Ethernet port. I don't know who's getting that speed, but it's there. I guess maybe if you're on a LAN, connected, whatever. But I would never be able to reach those speeds. Vapor chamber cooling, awesome. This was cool. I loved reading this. They have an extra M.2 slot that is empty. You get this CPU. You get this laptop, and it's got an empty M.2 slot. You can get any M.2 you want, I believe up to 2 terabytes, and put it in there for added storage. Love that. I think that's great. And that's what's awesome about the M.2 technology, right? It's so tiny, so small. The slot is small. There's no additional power cables or any cables, no SATA cable, nothing. Just connect it, screw it down, good to go. That's why you're starting to see stuff like this. Laptops having extra slots ready for you to just throw something in there. That is awesome. That's great. Because I've run into plenty of storage issues with laptops, They don't have too much room for expanding your hard drive. This is an external GPU. You do not need this for a laptop with a 30 series video card. You're paying a lot of money for these 3060s, 3070s, and 3080s. You don't need an external GPU. That's pure idiocy to pay $3,600 for a... let me go back there, view details. $3,600 for a laptop and then use an external GPU. That's just not real. That's not realistic. Like I said, open M.2 slot. The one thing I actually complained about a little bit is the RAM on this is 2933 rather than something a little higher. Like for comparison, my desktop is 4000 megahertz. That's a little low, a little bit low, but not horrible. Not a deal breaker for me. One last laptop I'm going to cover super quick. The ROG Zephyrus Duo 15. It only has a 2080 Super. That's a bit of a bummer. But why are you covering this? Why do you care if it's got lower end specs? I'm going to show you something real quick. That is super cool. It doesn't come with a girl, though. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with her. It's got a screen like a second display that's angled at, I believe they said it was 13 degrees. Yeah, tilted 13 degrees for comfortable viewing. This is game footage for Dying Light. It's got the quest log here, the quest list showing up right here on the lower display, so you can watch that while you're playing. You still have that pulled up. Not impressive to you? Okay, let's go over to League of Legends real quick. Someone has like a guide pulled up, I guess, pro builds, like a build guide, like what they want to do, what upgrades they want to go with, what itemization they want to go with. Super cool. Really think that could be expanded upon and deliver something awesome. Key metrics, gold per minute, cool stuff like that. I'm a big MMO player. I recently have been playing Classic WoW with the guild, and we're excited for the Classic WoW Fresh servers. We're going to be covering a lot of MMOs on this channel, so get ready for that. But in Classic WoW, for those of you that know it, you have 40 raid members. 40 raid members shown in a UI, that can be a little invasive, you know? It's all over the screen, it's huge. You know, you shrink it down and try to push it to the side as best as you can, but you got to watch your party members' health and mana and stuff like that, right? Being able to pull them down to this extra screen would be a game changer. You free up so much room on your space. You have it, I mean, on your main screen while you're playing. You can pull that down, put your party members down there. If they delivered something like that with either third-party add-ons, or maybe ASUS delivers some of the more popular MMO, some more of the popular MMOs kind of get to utilize this and put all sorts of cool stuff down there. Whether it's your action bars, your party members, quest log, whatever it may be. I think that's awesome. I think this could really be utilized and be a game changer for MMO players. Moving on, no more laptops. The Z590 motherboards were announced to go along with the previous processors from Intel, the 11th gen that were announced. And yeah, it's they're impressive. This is the Aorus Extreme. This is by Gigabyte. They have your PCI 4.0 finally for Intel. Like I said, that's great. I've had great success with Aorus's motherboard line for the rig I just built and the one beforehand. Love them. I think they deliver great quality. They give you the 4.0, the PCI 4.0 adapter to throw your M.2s in there. So if you have like two M.2 slots in your motherboard, but you really want some more, you can use this to throw into a PCI port. You'd open this, install your M.2s in there, and throw it right into a PCI Express, and that's it. Your M.2s work. So they have two 4.0 M.2 slots in there. That's awesome. It's a nice way to expand on your M.2s. So PCI 4, extreme memory, true power design. This is about their overclocking, pretty much. And I've had great success with Aorus motherboards for overclocking your CPU. Moving on, one more motherboard. ASUS also announced their motherboard as well for the Z590. Really cool stuff. Really, really like it. I'm going down to, if I had to cover one specific one, it's going to be this one here. If it loads up, there we go. A little bit bright. The Maximus 13 Extreme Glacial. Thanks, Final Fantasy. I know how to read Roman numerals now. 13. It has a built-in water block. So if you're doing a custom integrated full coverage EK water block, if you're doing a custom loop and you're doing your own build and you want your own water cooling system, I think it's super, super cool to see motherboards with built-in water blocks. This is not anything new, like this kind of technology, but it's just nice to see it for some of the new boards. If I was doing like a clean, sleek white build, like a pure white case, which I may do one day, I would probably go with this. I don't know what color I'd go for the liquid and stuff, but you could go clear and then use RGB to change up the way the coloring in the liquid looks. Very cool. Really like it. Moving on, let's go. Keyboard. ASUS. They announced a Claymore 2 gaming keyboard Taps ROG RX. Okay, the name is huge. Mechanical keyboard. Long and short, it's a new mechanical keyboard. I think it looks pretty cool. One thing that I don't like is there's no G keys, which I call it G keys because that's what Corsair calls them, like macro keys that you can bind, additional keys on the side. So I like a little bit of a larger keyboard for that, but I don't understand people wanting to save the space on their desk. One of the things that I really liked is this. They even talk about, okay, the compact footprint of a 10 keyless board. So this is a little bit more of a compact one, right? Well, take a look at what they did here. Separate number pads exist, but they usually rely on scissor switches that don't feel anything like tactical mechanical keyboards, key switches. So they have two separate, I don't know, entities of the board, right? You could pull that number pad off. And, oh yeah, wired and wireless connectivity options on the same keyboard. So it supports both. So if you really get sick of the cable, the cord running across your screen, or just gets in the way of stuff, you can disconnect it and go wireless with that baby. So both the main keyboard and number pad have the same incredible typing feel thanks to the full set of ROG RX optical mechanical switches. So they're using their own mechanical switches. I've not tested them. Cherry MX Red is usually my go-to thing, but it's nice. It's nice. I think I've heard some good stuff from guild members about this thing performing pretty well. Their custom mechanical keys. So I really do think that this is a cool addition to the keyboard market. Being able to just pull that off. You know what I would have liked to see? The option to use it as a calculator, free from the computer. If you're an accountant, right? You disconnect it, just bam, 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 bam. So check this look. They may still need a number pad for fast Excel work or other data in the past. They may have had to keep two keyboards around, cluttering their workspace and potentially taking up valuable ports on their PC. No one did that. No one had two keyboards. That's inelegant, and to put it mildly, not every keyboard is available with full 104 key, 10, so keeping two boards, separate number pads exist, but they normally... So yeah, they're just saying it comes with a modular system composed of a 10 keyless main board and a detachable number pad. That's cool. I think that's the fact that it's wireless. You can use it wireless connectivity, just separate and move it to the side, or just disconnect it. I could see myself just kind of taking it off and just not using it to save space on that side. But I would have honestly preferred to see the G keys, macro keys. Moving on to monitors. PG32UQ. ROG. What do you got for us? Asus still coming strong in the CES 2021 products. IPS display, 144 Hz, 4K monitor. I think those two little GPUs were supposed to represent FreeSync and G-Sync, which I'm going to pause that. I said pause. Okay. They HDMI 2.1, great, that's good. We need that, and a DisplayPort 1.4 if you're a DisplayPort kind of guy. They do have variable refresh rate and AMD FreeSync now, and NVIDIA G-Sync compatible certification is in progress. So they don't quite have that G-Sync certification just yet, but they're getting it. This is probably going to be one of your top-of-the-line monitors for a while, for the new high-end 4K frames, but I don't know who's 4K in some of your higher end games. Like you're not really gonna pull this refresh rate. That's pretty hard to do, but it's nice to have if you want it, right? 144 4K. Good luck though. Moving on. So in the beginning of this video, I said something that it's gaming related, but some of the stuff kind of falls out of gaming. Some of you guys might have heard this. Razer is releasing a mask. It's the world we live in right now, guys, right? We gotta have RGB masks, which I'm not kidding. This mask actually has RGB coloring on the side. It's see-through glass front, and that is not all it has. It has a sterilization box that charges the mask. That's right, charges the mask, so you can make use of the lighting and the voice amp technology. It's got a built-in mic. So you can tell people, stay away from me. Social distance. Very loudly. Without having to scream. So, I laugh at this a little bit, but I would buy it. But I gotta say, this is a concept. So this may never be. It will likely be, but it may never make it to actually, to the market and be sold. But I would buy this, and you would see me come on a video with this thing on my face, and we can all laugh at me. Yeah, it's pretty funny, I guess. But if you can, I I don't know, make a profit off any sort of tragedy, I guess, right? People are gonna, and I don't think this is a bad thing. It's not to insult Razer. I think it's kind of cool to be innovative in the mask world, kind of make masks a little bit of, have fun with your masks, right? Spice it up a little bit. Put a little Hello Kitty on there. By the way, Razer recently announced their they joined for a project with Hello Kitty. Yeah, they're releasing Hello Kitty peripherals. I got no images for that or anything, but that's going to be a thing. But really cool to see this. Replaceable filters, rechargeable ventilators. I think this is awesome. I think it's cool to bring something like this to the mask world. Like, look how attractive these people are. It's beautiful. It's just, they're badass wearing this mask, right? All right, let's go. Last but not least, this was too interesting not to cover. So, there is a toilet bowl that will scan your crap, your fecal matter, to use the correct scientific terms, and tell you whether or not you have been eating healthy or something along those lines. They'll give you a nice little notification on an app and be like, bro, what have you been eating, man? Like, for instance, this one down here. Your diet seems unbalanced. It turns out eating ramen for 30 years straight isn't healthy. Maybe pick up a salad. So, yeah, the recommended recipe is salmon chicken avocado salad. Oh, thanks. Oh, salmon or chicken avocado salad. I've never had an avocado in my life, by the way. Never had one. But, people are always like, oh, bro, the guac is so good. I've never had it. The green is scary, man. It scares me. But yeah, there you go. The wellness toilet uses multiple cutting-edge sensing technologies to support consumers' wellness by tracking and analyzing their mental and physical status. Their mental? Your poop. It smells horrible, man. You alright? You doing okay? Something making you upset? Each time the individual sits on the wellness toilet, it scans their body and its key outputs, then provides recommendations to improve their wellness. Stop eating ramen. Get up and move a little bit. There's no additional action needed, so people can easily check their wellness throughout the daily routine every time they take a bathroom break. They will see their current wellness status and receive wellness improvement recommendations on a dashboard in an app on their smartphones. I had to include this. I know it was supposed to be gaming related, but we gotta worry about our health, right? We gotta stay alive for the next games to come. We hear about games to come like sometimes a year or 2, 3 out. Or Cyberpunk, 7 years, whatever it was. We gotta survive long enough to make it to those game releases, alright? So it's gaming related, alright? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, I enjoyed making it, enjoyed sitting here with you guys and going over this stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think in the comments if you want to see more of these kind of videos or anything else. Let me know what you want to see on this channel. And if you are not subscribed, please just move your mouse over to that subscribe button and click and throw us a sub. Always appreciate that. Always appreciate your support. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Skidda!